We speak of Roy Gardner. He was most notorious for expertise and daring for two criminal activities: jailbreaks and train robberies. In May of that year, single-handedly robbed a mail train in Sacramento of a staggering $187,000, and that is over $3 million today. The very next day, he robbed another one in nearby Roseville, which admittedly netted a much smaller sum, but was successful nonetheless. And a few days later, he was cited at the Parker House Hotel in Roseville, and once again taken into custody at a local gambling parlor, no doubt with playing cards in one hand and a drink in the other. And after a perfunctory trial, he was sentenced to another 25 years at McNeil Island. So he's back on the Iron Horse to the McNeil Island, once again with 2 U.S. Marshals. But this time he was handcuffed. During this ride, he was incredibly allowed to use the restroom unchaperoned. And unbeknownst to his captors, he retrieved a .32 caliber pistol that had been squirreled away there by a fellow con. He then suddenly burst out of the loo and aimed the pistol at the 2 startled lawmen, and thus began the largest manhunt in the history of the Pacific Coast up to this time. He finally arrived at the island in the summer of 1921 to serve out what was meant to be a life sentence. Within days of intake, he was already conspiring with other inmates to break out. He managed to convince 2 of them, Everett Impin and Loardis Bogart, that he had bribed some guards to facilitate an escape. This was a complete lie. On Labor Day, just 6 weeks after his arrival, with the inmates and the guards assembled to watch a prison baseball game, the stage was set. With the crowd focused on the action at the game at hand, Gardner gave the word, and the 3 cons bolted the roughly 300 yards toward the gate, where they had clandestinely cut an escape hole in the wire. The guards soon opened fire on the 3 absconders. Impin was mortally wounded, with his dying words being, quote, "Gardner told us those fellows in the tower couldn't hit the broadside of a barn." Bogart was shot twice and was badly wounded, but ultimately survived, and later recalled that Gardner had used the 2 others to aid in his escape. And as for the greatest escape artist, well, despite being grazed in the leg, he escaped with his life, and he took refuge in a prison barn while the guards scoured the shoreline to no avail. He then managed to swim somehow to nearby Fox Island, where he lived briefly off plentiful fruit in the orchards there.
New episodes drop regularly.